Hello, it's Angela Marciano here from Angela Marciano Physical Therapy, and I've got a little late afternoon movement break for you. This one, instead of sitting in a chair, is lying down on the floor on a mat. So, getting started, you're going to lie down on a mat with your knees bent and your heels lined up with your sitting bones. So, if you've done yoga, your sitting bones are basically the middle of your butt cheeks. If you imagine your shoulders, the center of your hips, your thigh bones, and your lower legs lining up together, and your feet can point wherever they need to. Some feet will go straight ahead, some won't. You're going to make a little triangle with your hands. So thumbs together, index fingers together, and rest them on the front of your pelvis, thumbs below your belly button. Resting the elbows on the floor. And just start by taking a few breaths in and out and becoming aware of your breath. And then if you imagine your pelvis is like a bowl, you're going to roll your pelvis back, flattening your back into the mat, and then roll your pelvis forward. Maybe exhaling to roll back and inhaling to roll forward, just as much as is comfortable for you. If you have back pain that's related to spinal stenosis or spondylolisthesis, you'll know about it if you have it. Go easy on the arching. Right, so nice gentle motion, just rocking back and forth. And then if your pelvis were a bowl of soup, you're going to come to where you're not spilling your soup anywhere and pour your soup out to the right and to the left. So a little bit of rotation, starting to feel how the spine and pelvis and hips are connected. You can't move one without moving the others. Coming back to the center, and now you're going to imagine pouring your soup out all the way around your bowl. So you pour your soup out towards your head, flattening your back, over to the left side. Pour your soup out towards your feet and over to the right side, and then back up. Inhaling and exhaling. It doesn't really matter when you breathe, just so long as you breathe. Your knees might move a little bit. Coming back to the center where you're not pouring your soup out anywhere, and reverse your circle. So it's a nice thick soup like a pumpkin bisque or a lobster bisque. Today's a great day for soup, and you're just going to keep pouring your soup out. Maybe making your bowl a little bigger each time, but always keeping it comfortable. And then come back to the center where you're not pouring your soup out anywhere. Bringing your arms out into a T position, palms down if that works for you. If that's uncomfortable, you could go palms up. If you don't have the space, you could interlace your fingers and put your hands behind your head. So whatever works for you. You're going to bring your feet together so they're touching. Start by a neutral pelvis where you're not spilling your soup anywhere. Squeeze your thighs together. Both legs come over to the right side. So now we've dumped our soup out all the way to the right. Butt's going to come off the mat. That's fine. Try to keep your thighs together. And that top foot comes free of the mat. Twist back to center. And over to the other side. If you're really tight in your hips or your back, you might feel like you can't get your legs down, or that opposite shoulder comes way up off the mat. You could put a pillow down by your legs so you have something to land on either side. And you're just going to inhale and exhale. You could either choose to flow through this while you're breathing, or you might hang out on one side for a nice long slow breath or two. Coming back to the center, you're going to move your feet mat distance apart. So mat distance is wider than hip distance, or if you're in a bath towel on the floor, you're wider than hip distance. And your knees are wider than hip distance. Both knees are going to come over to the right side. The hope and the dream is we get this bottom leg all the way down to the floor. The opposite arms and shoulder stays on the mat, and the top leg drops as low as it can. Twist to center. Again, if you're really tight, you might not feel like you can go that far. You could put a pillow to rest your knees on when you get to the end. Inhaling and exhaling. Again, you could either flow through this, or if it feels like you just want to hang out in one position and then the other, that's fine too. We're going to do one more time to each side. And then coming back to the center, moving your feet hip distance apart again. Check in with your bowl of soup here. Hands on your pelvis. Without spilling your soup, you're going to cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Notice if you started dumping your soup out to the right or to the left as you cross that ankle. I'm going to keep my pelvis stable. I'm going to bring this right knee towards my opposite shoulder and then press away. Towards my shoulder and then press away. And all that movement's happening right here at the hip joint. You can put your thumb right in the crease of your hip to feel that. Press the knee away. Arms can come out to the side again if that works for you. Roll over to the left side. The hope and the dream here, we get the bottom leg to the floor. The right foot, the sole of the foot is on the floor. Again, if you need a pillow underneath that leg, you can use that. Come back to center. Oh, actually stay there. And you can rock that knee towards the floor and then press away again. Towards the floor and press away. Right. Pressing that knee away, we'll come back to center. And if it works for you, you're going to reach through with both hands and take your left leg, pulling your thighs towards your belly, pressing your right elbow into your right knee to press that leg away. Flex your right foot. That helps to support the knee. You should feel a good stretch in your right hip and butt. Ideally, head should be down on the mat, but it depends how flexible you are and how long your arms are. So some folks will have to get up to grab this leg. Keep it comfortable. Lower the feet back down. Uncross your legs. Level your bowl of soup. Keep it level. Cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Without spilling your soup, rock your right knee towards your shoulder and then press away. Towards your shoulder and then away. Right, so you're not spilling your soup anywhere. You can place the thumb of your left hand in the crease of your hip to feel the movement. Press the knee away. Arms out into a T, palms down if that works for you. Rolling over to the right side. Again, you could have a pillow under that leg if you need it, if you can't get all the way down. We're trying to keep the left arm and shoulder down, but don't force it. You can rock that hip here. So what we see is the knee moving, but it's happening at that left hip joint. Coming back to the center, if you can grab both hands on the right thigh, pull the right thigh to your belly, elbow presses into the left thigh, flex the foot. Nice inhale and exhale. Try to relax the neck, throat, and jaw. If you find it's really hard to pull and you have to be up here, you could also do this with a pillow under your head. Go ahead and release. Uncross your legs. Bring your legs together. You're going to cross your right thigh over your left thigh. So now the thighs are tight together. On an exhale, you're going to grab your thighs and pull towards your belly. Again, feeling a stretch in the right hip. Maybe you can reach the front of your knees, pulling the thighs to your belly. Maybe you can walk your hands down your shins or to your ankles. Maybe you can reach your feet, thumbs on the sole of your foot, fingertips on the top of your foot, pulling the thighs to your belly. Now, if you have to make your ankles all twisty to do that, don't worry about getting your feet. Hang on to your shins. It's not about getting to the end position. It's about getting to where it works for you well and correctly. Lower the feet back down, uncross. Cross your left thigh over your right thigh. On an exhale, take both legs up, grabbing your thighs or your knees or your shins, wherever you can reach comfortably. Or if you're flexible or have really long arms like I do, you can place your thumbs on the sole of your foot in the center and the fingertips on top. And go ahead and release. One last stretch for you here. You're going to bring your feet hip distance apart. On an exhale, take the thighs to your belly, one hand behind each leg, and the thighs are going to be wide, so a little wider than hip distance with the thighs and the lower legs and the feet. You're going to Straighten your knees a little bit so they're still at a 90-degree bend. So the soles of the feet are on the ceiling. So if I were flipped over, I'd be doing a really deep squat. Maybe you can reach somewhere to your shins or your ankles. Or again, only if it works for you, you're going to bring your hand to the sole of your foot inside your arch. Thighs to belly, heels to ceiling. Let the knees come a little bit wider. Inhale, exhale, just hang out here. You could rock a little bit side to side if that's comfortable for you. And then release back down. Roll onto your side, come up into sitting, and you guys are done. I hope you found that helpful. Have a great day.